Hey, my name's Kent Hauer. My wife and I had started Green Mountain Defense firearms training originally in Bethel, Vermont. That's why it's not called, I don't know, Pennsylvania Murder School or something weird like that, right? But we started that in 2013. It's now in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. We teach everything pistol, rifle, shotgun, medical, from brand new beginner level private lessons to group classes and instructor development. I think like a lot of redneck kids from Pennsylvania, I was sort of forced into shooting. Like we had the farm life and all that. We all hunted and did all that stuff. So it was kind of part of my upbringing, which is funny because now when I hear somebody tell me that, like that's the person I watch on the line because I'm immediately nervous. But that was me, right? And I at some point I got sucked into going to a match and going over to the SIG Academy with a buddy of mine in my early 20s in my college days. And my youthful exuberance and my stupid ego made me think that I was just going to go out there and do great and they'd like offer me a job or something. And I shot terribly. I was out of my depth, out of my element, had no idea. And I was like, oh man, there's like something real to shooting besides pop cans and fence posts and stuff. So I got drawn into it. I started training there and eventually, got an opportunity to help a buddy in a gun store, and it just kind of spiraled and grew from that. It was that and skiing congruently because Green Mountains. So I was teaching skiing at the time and learning to shoot. And at some point I thought like, well, it's fun teaching people. This could be interesting. And about that time, a friend of mine started teaching at his gun shop and they needed help and it went from there. Today, what keeps me passionate? Oh my God. Every time I see somebody with a light bulb moment, every time a student, every time, especially in private lessons, we do a ton of private lessons. If I'm on the range with an individual or a couple and I see somebody really get something and they honestly understood the assignment, they got the lesson and they're able to implement it and then take it away and come back with it and they've grown it. That's as good as crack or anything else for me. I'm psyched when I see people succeed with that stuff. So that's what's keeping me going today. I expect them to put in the work. So if you're going to come and spend 4, 8, 16 hours, 24 hours on a weekend class, or if you're going to pay us for a private lesson package and you're going to commit to 20 hours of private training over 2-hour sessions, you're not going to get anything out of it unless you put the work in yourself. Yeah, I need you to be as interested and as aggressive and as enthusiastic as we are about it, or you're not going to progress. And we say this all the time, right? Like I'll leave it all there for you. I'll work my ass off. My team we'll do anything we can to help you, but I need you to come with the desire and knowledge. And unfortunately, in this industry, a lot of times people come with fear first, and I hate that. People come to us from fear first. They come to us because something has happened or something's going to happen, and they're afraid. And a gun is a talisman and a tool. And they're sort of like me with a fire extinguisher. Like I need to have this thing, and I need it in my house, and I need to know how to use it, and that's all I need. Making that conversion between that mindset and no, I need to be a practitioner and actually know how to use this thing, because I don't go out fighting other people's fires. And if we carry guns in public, it would sort of be like going out and fighting other people's fires, right? And I'm not down with that unless you're really willing to put in the work. So I expect them to bring that. And in terms of performance, there is no ceiling. I'm still yet to be as good a shooter as I should be. I'm sure I'll never get there. I'm sure you'll never get there. I'm sure anybody listening to this will never get there. And I've had the privilege of knowing some of the best shooters on planet Earth. I'm telling you right now, they'll tell you the same thing. There is no performance ceiling. I don't think that exists. So in terms of level of performance, sky's the limit. You just need to be willing to put in the work. Kind of oddly enough, that's what we're going to be working on in our blocks at Girl and Gun. We're talking about confirming live fire and dry fire, the ability to make those two things match and actually like resonate with people. A lot of times dry fire is kind of like I do cardio. Like I hate it, but I know I have to, or I'm going to die. So in terms of that, if they actually can draw a correlation between dry fire and see it bringing results into their shooting, people skyrocket. Like that's the magic key, but they'll never continue the effort unless they see it correlate. And frankly, they don't see it correlate unless they do it on the range. Too many folks dry fire at home and then go to the range and shoot live all the time and never mix both together. And they don't see where it works and where it doesn't. That to me is what separates really good shooters from pedestrian or journeyman shooters. So many people reach a plateau and then fall and then plateau and then fall because they get into the same cycles all the time. That, and maybe like just the willing to be a little bit explorative rather than doctrinal, like just work on concepts rather than, rote repetition and drills, those sorts of things. Really trying to get an understanding of how the gun behaves for them. It's different for all people, but the ones who put in the mental work and the physical work and who are really willing to think through it like it's something that matters to them. And I find it funny because everybody who has enough money to pay for gun training has reached some level of success in their life, right? They're good at something. Definitely not things I'm good at, right? I'd be a terrible HR professional, right? But I've got one who's a private client. She runs HR for this huge nursing home. Awesome. How'd you get great at running HR? Because the steps that got you good at that, if you applied them to shooting, would probably make a lot of sense to you. Not in the physical sense, but certainly in the mental sense. And when you correlate it to a level of success that they're used to, then all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, I'm not bad at anything else I try. Why would I be bad at this? And then it clicks. Respect and enthusiasm. Next question. Like that, it's very simple. When it comes to growing a gun, the whole, there's nothing different about teaching female shooters except there sort of is. Like there isn't, but there is, right? People want to be respected. People want to be treated like an adult. People don't want to be talked down to. People don't want to be mansplained to, et cetera, et cetera. But people expect enthusiasm, right? And we all do. I don't like it when somebody treats me like I'm lesser than or something else either in my own life and professionally or anywhere like that. Why would we bring that into a training environment? So we just automatically extend students respect and courtesy. If they can't reciprocate it, that becomes another problem for another day. But if they can bring that and they can bring their enthusiasm, that's what I keep hearing about this event. I hear over and over and over again how enthusiastic the student base is. And you guys you're doing a great job with like a world's mini shooting cult or something like that. Like you all say the same thing. So it's either absolutely the truth or you've been fed a really good marketing line, 50-50, right? But you guys are psyched on your conference. You're psyched on your event. You're enthusiastic about actually getting better. It's clear to me it's not just a social hour. Like people actually care about being good. So if we can bring that to 4-hour blocks and actually help somebody, I'm down. greenmountaindefense.com/training, the Sling'N Lead podcast, all at Green Mountain Defense on all the socials and stuff like that. You'll find us up and down the East Coast predominantly. A lot of stuff central to Pennsylvania, but you can always find us in those web sources and that social media. Our podcast is interesting because it's 153 episodes now of us promoting other training companies along with ourselves. So that's, sort of congruent to our whole mission of bringing other people in and hosting and being hosted elsewhere, trying to build a little community. So that's sort of if you want to know our opinions or real deep dive in what we think on certain topics or something like that, we've put hours and hours and hours of content out there that we intentionally don't hide behind paywalls or do anything like that with. So go grab that Sling'N Lead podcast, and everywhere else it's at Green Mountain Defense.